Resolved, gym class should not be a required course. Through some way or another, gym class has been the bane of our existence, from kickball to basketball to the dreaded push-up test. But to some, it is the real bane of their existence. Since gym class is a required course, it is preventing some to even be able to graduate. Others, on more personal levels, provoking thoughts of negative body image and saying to themselves, I'm not good enough, or I'm too fat to do this. Some schools do have the opportunity for students to opt out, but most don't. And if we only use 16 minutes of every class for actual physical exercise, why do we let it cause so many problems if we are already spending so much time trying to get rid of them? Therefore, gym class should not be a required class because it causes problems for students trying to graduate, lowers the self-esteem of other students, and we really only spend half the class actually exercising. We only spend about 36% of gym class actually active. Could you imagine if we spent 16 minutes a day on classes such as English? An average person spends 16% of their life in school. That means that in total you spend 197 hours in gym inactive. That also means you could fly from LA to Australia and back almost 15 times. That's 122,280 miles. Also, by doubling gym class time, we only improve the active time in physical education by about 7 minutes on average. The time athletes spend in gym would be better taking other classes or catching up on homework. We only spend a fraction of the time actually exercising. According to NBC News, we only spend 16 minutes out of the 45 actually exercising. School is created for education and not for exercise. When gym is required for athletes, they get much less sleep. As stated by Muggs Media, I can't tell how many times I've asked kids how they balance their time with schoolwork and sports, and they will tell me they get about 5 to 6 hours of sleep. That's at least 2 hours under the suggested minimum of 8 hours for growing young adults. Gym is also one more place for athletes to get injured. Injuries could possibly hinder their possibilities of getting into good colleges from college spectators. My evidence shows that gym class is causing athletes to get less sleep, more injuries, and worse grades. Physical education should not be a required course because it lowers the self-esteem of other students who can't be as athletic or fit as their peers. Kathy Bruton of the Florida Department of Health has surveyed students across 5 counties in her state and found that the reason students didn't exercise in school is because they didn't like getting dressed or getting sweaty during the day. They also said that their classes were overcapacitated. Kids say that if they were going to do phys ed, they wanted to do something fun. Public school teacher Jim Dillman, who has Asperger's, which is a form of autism, has written of his experience with gym classes that social settings, including physical education class, often heighten the levels of stress and anxiety levels of students with Asperger's. A great deal of students are also actively alienated in gym classes. These students are often those with disabilities, students from low-income families, students considered overweight, and LGBTQ students. Why should we keep gym class if it only promotes the bullying we are already trying to eradicate from the school district, or from the school environment? It also encourages negative body image, making students believe they are not good enough, and many students are alienated just from being themselves. Speaking as a new kid, I was worried about school's gym classes and felt uncomfortable not knowing anybody. Even though I was never a target for alienation, I witnessed multiple occasions where there were other students being bullied. So why should we let this happen?